Story 1. Hearts and minds will be changed tonight. The country will come together in perfect harmony. Peace will be achieved, and everyone will point to this moment in history as the impetus. It will be a glorious debate filled with respect and a thoughtful exchange of ideas. Story 2. I don't know, but Blizzard's advertisement for Diablo titled Battle for Immortality was amusingly placed right under the question. Story 3. It's in my city, the same night as the United States men's national team soccer game right down the road. I am going to sit in hours of traffic. That is what is going to happen. Story 4. Two elderly men will take the stage and speak for a long time, reaffirming the beliefs of their supporters. Story 5. Aside from possibly some amusing incidents, absolutely nothing. No one who plans on voting for either candidate will change their minds, and those who do not support either candidate have no representation. I did not expect Biden to falter that significantly. It seems I may have been mistaken after all. Story 6. Millions of Americans will feel embarrassed that this was apparently the best our country had to offer. Story 7. Donald Trump will finally reveal that he has been Andy Kaufman this whole time, pulling the world's greatest prank. Story 8. My actual bingo card. Folks. Infrastructure. Obama. Perfectly innocent. Come on, man. Trump insults a city. Convicted felon. Semiconductors. Hunter Biden. Mention of non-existent person or place. Surprising anecdote. Putin. Free space. China. Someone trips. Reference to age. Rigged. January 6. Trump debuts a new nickname. Border crisis. 34 counts. Awkward brag about voter support. Drug test. Crooked. Moderators accused of not playing fair. Update. I didn't get blackout, but I did get a bingo. Story 9. I am not American, but hopefully both Trump and Biden experience health issues, and the American people realize that choosing between two elderly candidates who would be long retired in any other profession is not the best option for leadership. Story 10. I saw they will mute the microphone of the person who doesn't have the floor, so I think it will be fun to see Trump rage yelling while it is silent. Story 11. I feel sorry for Biden. This is no way to live the final years of one's life. He looks and sounds absolutely terrible, truly depressing. Story 12. All I know is that I am not watching it. I will try to stave off that feeling of hopelessness for as long as I can by burying my head in the sand. Story 13. It will not be a debate at all. Questions may be asked, but no answers will be given. Instead, there will be randomly chosen talking points exchanged with no relation to what the other person said. They might as well not have a moderator or the opponent in the same room. Story 14. The only outcome is that Trump supporters will claim he won the debate, while Biden supporters will assert he won. People will then turn to the media they prefer to confirm their candidate's victory. I will be watching Judge Judy reruns. Story 15. Two elderly individuals will express controversial opinions, and people will become upset with one another over which candidate they plan to support in the election. Story 16. Biden will demonstrate that he does not have dementia. He will also focus on the legal cases against Donald Trump. In response to questions about the alleged weaponization of the Department of Justice, Biden will point out that his own son was charged and convicted. This should counter Trump's major attacks on Biden, claiming he is senile and has weaponized the Department of Justice. Trump will go into a series of tangents and will avoid answering most questions. He will accuse Jake Tapper of bias. Despite the muted microphones, Trump will attempt to interrupt several times. He will express how he has been victimized by the government and how the 2020 election was stolen. Trump will make some statements that sound overtly fascist or incredibly racist. In terms of policy, Trump will attempt to refer to his track record, claiming that things were better before the pandemic. Biden will respond that Trump did nothing to improve the situation and mishandled the pandemic. Biden will also point out that none of Trump's proposed solutions for inflation make sense going forward. Trump will insult Biden for this. In the end, 45% of Americans will say Trump won, 47% will say Biden won, and 8% will have no opinion. Left-leaning and moderate news will focus on the overtly fascist or racist statements in the debate. Right-leaning news will discuss how Biden seemed unprepared, how CNN was biased, and how Trump's track record exceeds Biden's. After the debate, Biden lost. He needed to clearly demonstrate that he does not have cognitive issues, but he lost his train of thought early on. While Trump made several absurd claims, went off on tangents, and failed to answer questions, this was largely irrelevant. Biden had a low bar to clear, and I believe he did not succeed. Comment regarding the aftermath. I underestimated how feeble Biden would appear and how he struggled to challenge Trump and address basic issues. Yes, Trump made numerous absurd claims. No, Democrats do not support post-birth abortion. It is not a reality. Illegal immigrants cannot take Social Security benefits, and they commit far less crime than the average citizen. However, public interest does not usually focus on the analysis after the debate. Trump made bold claims, and Biden seemed unable to counter effectively. If Biden does not step back, Democrats could face significant losses. Story 17. Biden will accidentally admit he took a horse tranquilizer. A bucket of chicken will fall out from under Trump's podium, then he will grab it and run off stage. Then Biden will say, "Good night, Canada," and follow him. Story 18. Both sides will claim victory. Both sides will argue about something the other got wrong. Ultimately, no voter will change their mind. Story 19. Memes will be created. Quotes will be shared. One of them will forget who they are. In other words, it's going to be great. Story 20. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump withdraws right before the debate doesn't happen. I'd be disappointed but not surprised. Story 21. I don't think there will be much debate. Biden will likely do his best to answer the prompts and counter what Trump says in good faith while remaining professional. Trump will deflect the questions and repeat his claims about how the election was rigged, his trial was rigged, everyone is out to get him, and the country is being harmed by the liberal agenda. He will also include some general statements about how he plans to reinvigorate the economy and create jobs, using buzzwords directed at his supporters without presenting any real plans. Story 22. Biden looks poor at the debate. I am surprised they allowed him to participate. There are concerns about elder abuse. CNN is focusing on immigration as the main topic. Story 23. Two elderly men will argue for a couple of hours, and then we will see out-of-context snippets of it in our feed for weeks. Story 24. I believe we will all feel embarrassed that the best our country has to offer in leadership is an 81-year-old man with dementia who needs to sit during the debate, facing a 78-year-old convicted felon. Meanwhile, the median age of the country is approximately 39. Story 25. Trump will complain about how everyone on Earth is out to get him personally. He'll lie, ramble, and project. All Biden literally has to do is not visibly embarrass himself or talk to people who aren't there to defeat Trump's narrative that he's a senile old fool. Trump has far more to lose tonight than Biden. Story 26. Disappointment will occur tonight. I cannot express how strongly I feel about not wanting either of these two to be president. One is hated, and the other is pitted. Everyone seems to agree that neither is capable. Story 27. I was watching the pregame shows this afternoon. One poll indicated that 17% of respondents said they would make their decision after the debate tonight. Those 17% of people should reassess their stance. If you haven't made up your mind by this point, you are simply waiting for someone to tell you who won, so you can support a winner. That is what led us to this situation in the first place. Story 28. Two elderly men who could not operate a hot dog stand will be compelled to formulate one coherent sentence on national television. Story 29. I don't know, but expectations have been lowered significantly by each campaign accusing the other of having dementia. If either candidate avoids making a major mistake on stage, it will be declared a great victory by their respective campaigns. Personally, I somewhat expect Trump to lose control and attempt to assert dominance by physically confronting the president. Story 30. Biden will sound elderly but will attempt to answer questions. Trump will start answering questions and quickly divert to something else entirely. I believe debates should occur normally. However, a debate between these two is somewhat of a waste of time. At this point, anyone who claims to be undecided between them is simply avoiding giving an answer. Story 31. It is disappointing that this is what we have to choose from. It is an unfortunate state of affairs that two elderly individuals who cannot articulate cohesive thoughts are our preferred option. Story 32. People will be open-minded, beliefs will change, and perfect harmony will come over all of us. Our country will be better afterwards. Story 33. People will speak, but it will not be a proper debate. Those watching may not apply critical thinking or form opinions based on rational arguments. Only a few individuals may have their opinions changed. Story 34. Why does LRRR, the leader of the planet Omicron Persei 8, the largest of the candidates, simply not eat the others? Story 35. Biden will stutter, Trump will use hand gestures, and none of the voters will be swayed. You have seen 8 years of Trump, 4 in office and 4 on the campaign trail. The same goes for Biden. If your mind isn't made up by now, I'm not sure if I want to hit you or shake your hand. Story 36. The American people will be the losers of the debate between two elderly individuals whose ideas need to be discarded. Story 37. Two elderly, wealthy individuals will engage in meaningless conversation. One will confidently spout utter nonsense for most of it, while the other may struggle to express himself. Meanwhile, a group of overly polarized working-class individuals will become overly invested in the outcome of a debate that yields no substantial results, as if either candidate truly represents their interests, which they do not. It would be just as effective to take a news camera into a care home, an utter waste of time and resources. Story 38. If Biden performs well, Fox News will discuss endlessly the medications he is taking, despite the absence of any miraculous treatment that would make the dementia he is accused of having disappear. Trump will make absurd promises that are unlikely to be fulfilled. He will tell outrageous lies that can be easily disregarded with just a moment of research. He will make rude and inappropriate comments that would have disqualified any other candidate in the past. Fox News will claim he performed exceptionally well. Story 39. I want the same thing I have desired from the debates over the last few years. I want Biden to slip and use a curse word when addressing Trump, like calling him a fool. The rest of the debate would be delightful chaos. Story 40. I think Trump gets angry, has a mini tantrum, storms off the stage and refuses to return. Then he blames it on Biden. Story 41. I'm watching it now and it scares me because Trump is more coherent than Biden, and that may push him over the top for the office. Jesus, we are doomed. Story 42. My prediction is that Trump will accidentally try to body check Biden and knock him down when they shake hands. Story 43. TheRealDebate.com receives unprecedented traffic, and people can listen to Robert F. Kennedy's responses. Story 44. Pretty sure Trump has already accused Biden of using stimulants and performance enhancers. He is definitely going to accuse Biden of cheating if he performs well. Is he bumbling and incompetent Sleepy Joe? Or is he a presidential commando? I prefer Dark Brandon. Story 45. Two individuals who believe they can lead a country will ultimately fail and claim victory. In the end, very few of us care. As a member of Generation X, my generation will never hold the presidency, yet we are now supporting the baby boomers and the younger generations. Taxation without representation. I hope they both face significant consequences along with the rest of their administrations. Story 46. Two senior citizens will argue like children fighting in a sandbox, and the country will be worse off for it. Story 47. This is my guess. I didn't watch. Some voters will lean towards Trump for not addressing his lies, and he will appear more energetic. Some will support Biden because they view the other candidate as erratic, and Biden's policies seem more reasonable. However, without a doubt, everyone will agree that they are both too old. Story 48. They need soundproof boxes, one for each individual. The glass should be coated with reflective mylar. When their time limit is up, the lights inside should brighten so they can see their reflection, and the microphones should be muted. This way, Trump can see how foolish he appears when he reacts to being cut off. Story 49. We will watch two elderly individuals argue with each other, while people behave as if this is a showdown between ultimate good and ultimate evil. Story 50. The discussion was unproductive. The two individuals debated for over an hour, hardly addressing political issues or anything meaningful. They are here to serve our country, yet they focused on trivial matters like golf handicaps. No American should accept this. The Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee owe us candidates who are worthy. Both of these individuals should step aside. Story 51. The same thing has happened at every political debate since they began. Absolutely nothing. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.